With our football crew, moments from week 6 that made our crew go, wow. Jeff, why do you start us off?
Rico Dowdle talking trash to his former team. It's like a high school movie. You can't write the script any better. Then he does it. He goes out with 30 carries, averages over 6 yards a carry, just laying the hat on people. By the way, he had 4 catches for 14 plus and a touchdown. He told them what he was going to do, then ran it down their throats and showed them what he was about.
Vengeance, thy name is Rico. Kmart, what was your wow moment of the weekend?
Oh, for me, it was this Baker Mayfield sequence. Listen, he breaks a bunch of tackles, right? Look. Baker listen.
Knows exactly where the first down is, too.
Knows exactly what to do. And then on the very next play, what does he do? Launches a 45-yard bomb to Ted Johnson, who literally thought he was the MVP. Like, he thought the chance were for him.
Watch it.
Baker is balling. The Bucs are so fun to watch.
Bucs are fun. Peter, you were there on Monday night.
This play here is not getting enough love. The 81-yard touchdown run is what everyone's talking about. I'm on the sidelines. Bijan breaks 5 tackles in one play and does it to get a 20-yard reception. Bijan Robinson, 238 yards from scrimmage, a career high. Greeny, you know his last career high was? 181. When did he do it? His last game. This guy is putting up huge numbers and has entered the MVP conversation.
I think that's right. His coach said, I heard you say it, his coach says he's the best player in the league, and he may be right. Neek, last one. Maybe we saved the most fun for last.
Oh, yeah. It feels like it's all running backs, and I'm going with Bam Bam Cam Scatterboo. It seems like the most fun rookie in the league right now. He's lighting up New York City. He doesn't seem to, I mean, you made literary references earlier. I'm sure Cam would have gotten all those. That man, that looks like a man that loves to read and also run through somebody's face.
Yes.
I love Cam.
Emily
Scatterboo.
Dickinson,
He's so much
I'm
fun.
sure he's reading it, yes.
The best of times and the worst of times when Cam runs through your face.
All right, so it was against the Eagles that he did that. That game feels like 10 years ago. That's just the world we live in now. But we haven't seen the Giants since then. They're feeling good. We haven't seen the Eagles since then. They're not. Kevin Patullo is their offensive coordinator, and he was talking about some of the struggles that they've had on that side of the ball so far this season. Here's what he said.
Last year, we had some kind of weird things going on that we needed to work through and continue to throughout the year. I think that's a lot of teams that are in this spot right now. If you watch around the league, there's a lot of teams that are kind of still finding their way. And I think that's kind of where we're at. There really, to be honest, has not been one specific thing. And that's where we got to just continue to do a better job as a staff and put the guys in position and then just execute it as we go. And that's kind of the biggest thing that we talked about yesterday, too, as an offense is like there's not one thing, not one person. It's all of us.
Okay, fair enough. So he doesn't sound like the sky is falling. The world talks about them like the sky is falling. Is the sky falling?
Yeah, the looming question is whether this is a bump in the road or this is 2023 all over again.
Right.
Where they had those major issues with Brian Johnson as their play caller, who they hired from within and the offensive production went down. This offense right now is worse than that offense was. They internally are not raising any alarm bells. They internally are saying, everyone calm down, everything's going to be okay. Externally, though, you look at all the numbers and you listen to the sound. Lane Johnson, who's such a veteran and a leader on that team, after the game on Thursday said their offense was way too predictable. That is their team talking publicly. And, of course, we had the whole issue about was there a meeting, was there not a meeting? A.J. Brown says there wasn't a meeting. Guess what? There might have been a meeting. We don't know for sure what that meeting was. That said, Saquon Barkley's on pace for 921 yards right now, 46% of what he had last season.
Listen, when the team wins the Super Bowl, Windy, our friend Brian Windhorst, has a great expression in basketball that applies. He says winning a championship means never having to say you're sorry. Right. So we give them the benefit of the doubt. But the truth is, we were having these same conversations last year.
Exactly.
The difference is Saquon Barkley got as hot as any running back has ever been, and they just rode him all the way to the Super Bowl. If he's not running the ball like crazy, Jeff, that offense is a legitimate concern.
But what you said is the part you need to focus on. They were 4-2 last year. Same time, almost identical offensive numbers. Got it right, got hot. Saquon starts making it. The same thing Kevin Patullo was talking about is the same thing they went through with Kellen Moore. It's changing that doesn't just blend, y'all. It takes time. It's nuance between Jalen Hurts and Patullo, between Patullo and the run game. All of it will end up being together. When you look at their roster, they got dudes everywhere, including the offensive line. They will find a way to work this out. They will figure out, if you don't think Jeff Stoutland, one of the best offensive line coaches in the business, can get this run game fixed, you're lying to yourself, because he will get it fixed. And I do appreciate what Lane Johnson said. Maybe they are predictable. Maybe they are. But when they go back and look at it, it's each and every one. Because if you watch the film, it'll be one guy one time, another guy another time. They have all the pieces and the parts. I trust that more than I worry about what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, having the pieces and the parts is important. That means that they are capable of doing it. It doesn't mean that they will. And I think as calm as they may be on the inside, all the things that Peter started with, they're true. Like the scuttlebutt outside of the locker room sounds louder than it is inside the locker room, but they're giving us ammunition. They're throwing gas on this flame.
Right.
The things that AJ's saying, the things that Lane's saying, it's concerning. And I think that it's not just going to come together because they have all the talent.
Here's what I've heard over the years being around this team. I've heard losing in this building is different. It feels different. And there's a reason. You know, I think back to that Super Bowl that they won. And it wasn't the elation that I saw. Like, it wasn't. I remember Jalen just sort of being like, okay, like even putting on the ring when he got it. It was sort of like he didn't even put it on. I just feel like it felt like relief more than, guys, we are it. And I think over a course of a season, it wears on them. Like all the talking that's come out of their building, we would not be worried about them if they weren't also talking about the predictability of the offense or guys just not being on the same page. Those are their words, not ours. So to Jeff's point, I think they will be fine. But internally, it's not always, they're sort of looking for answers still.
Yeah. If you look at this would tell you the defense is more of an issue than the offense, right? Like if you're being real,
they're being
and you want to, if you want to look at that, right? Like so Vic Fangio, they'll figure out that's so they're. It's not that they don't have issues. I don't want to minimize issues, but the
defense.
No. I'm saying from numbers, like they're giving up what they didn't give up last year. I'm just telling you, we always make mountains out of molehills when we're talking about it. Buffalo lost 2 games, and I was here all day yesterday. No one said a breath, man.
Well,
it's like, you know what?
That's coming up in the season.
Yeah. Right. I'm just telling you, it matters.
We're talking about
we're
that.
talking about
We're talking
the
about
Eagles.
that.
That's why it matters, is because we're talking about Sirianni leading the team. There's always gas on the fire.
You can't pretend.
Yes, you can. I just did.
That team was great. Like, we have expectations that they've set. They have expectations for themselves. We're not just going to say that it's all going to be all right. As many teams as you've been on, when there were problems, you didn't just wave your hands and say that's going to be all right. You figured it out. You had a path to get it done. We just don't see the clear path.
Right, because we don't know Patullo yet. But you're taking away everything from players and be like, well, Patullo can't figure this out. That's where I disagree. It's happened 4 times for the Eagles, man. They will figure this out.
Okay, have to leave it there for the moment, but we'll have more on them as
man coverage the same way he does against zone, eats up zone. He's a little bit so-so against man. That's going to have to get better. And then 2, this young group's had some success for the past couple weeks. Can they handle the good? Can they handle the success and continue to work to get better?
To your point, their prime time, Sunday night, their next game against the 49ers. Now, can they handle that at the same level, Jay?
As long as they stay violent.
Yep.
Gotta stay violent at the line of scrimmage, brother.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about Buffalo, shall we? The Bills' offense, unrecognizable over the last 2 weeks, posting just 17 points per game after scoring over 33 a game in the first month of the season. Turnovers are a big reason why. Buffalo committing 5 in the last 2 games after having just 1 in the first 4 weeks. So, Dan, what are some of Buffalo's major issues that they need to work on during the bye?
30 penalties in their last 3 games as well. So that's very uncharacteristic